Hey everybody, welcome to Live at 5. Keith's doing his thing. That's probably the coolest intro we've ever had on Live at 5.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we've been doing these themed episodes, so to speak, and I've been doing all kinds of stuff. I was like, well, if we're going to do an EVH episode, we have to get you involved.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because one, I can talk about an EVH guitar, and I can play a guitar, but you know way more about EVH guitars and how to play all the songs, and you could probably look at, like, we had the discussion earlier about, like, the historically accurate guitars.
Oh, for sure.
And
yeah.
you could probably, like, tell me where, like, all the versions that he's played.
Oh, sure.
I'll be like, where he first played it, what albums they were on, what tours he used them on. You probably know all that stuff.
I know good. Yeah,
I
have spent a good amount of my life memorizing these weird facts. I'm not sure that it's helped me at all in my life, but I can tell you a lot of weird stuff.
It's probably helped you sell a few EVH guitars.
Maybe so.
So I was like, well, let's work on these episodes that have, you know, like a theme to them and kind of like a point rather than just talking about random stuff. I was like, let's do this EVH episode. Let's get Keith involved.
Sure. And this is just in time for the kickoff of the Eddie Van Halen tribute Best of All Worlds tour.
I didn't even know that was coming up. See?
If you, my social media feeds have been full of rehearsals with Sammy Hagar, Joe Satriani, Michael Anthony, and Jason Bonham. And also, just yesterday, Joe Satriani was showing off some of his EVH guitars that he'll be using for this tour, which is kind of cool because Joe Satriani, if most of you people have followed his career, he has been a career-long Ibanez guy. So to see him with anything else in his hands other than a JS Series Ibanez is really strange a little bit. And then to see the modifications that he's made with some of these EVH guitars is pretty awesome. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder whose arm he had to twist to be like, I'm gonna go on tour, but I'm using EVH guitars.
Well, there's still plenty of Ibanez guitars, I think, in his arsenal for this.
I'm sure there's probably something. It's like, as long as you're using, 4 Ibanez.
Yeah,
he's
and
probably
I think
got a whole arsenal of things he's taken. So
a lot of the guitars that he has kind of souped up and doctored of the EVH line, I noticed that he was putting like DiMarzio saturator pickups and stuff in them. So I think he's kind of making them his own
has his
kind
own
of thing.
twist on it.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, normally when I do these, I have a whole thing of notes out in front of me, but I thought this would be very interesting because you probably don't need a bunch of notes on these guitars.
Well, I have no notes, and I'm not prepared at all. But I think that I can talk about these guitars fairly accurately.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Let me know where you want to start and what you want to do.
Let's start with what you got right there.
Sure.
What do we set up with here?
This is a EVH Wolfgang Special. And these are actually my favorite guitars in the EVH line. They're not the most expensive, like the highest end ones, but I think in terms of guitar workhorse, these are the ones that I always kind of go to. This particular one in the polar white, I think looks awesome with the white and then the black binding like that. It's what I would call EVH historically correct, because we have the zebra pickups, black and cream. Yeah. So I really like that. This has the low friction, let's see here. Yeah, low friction 500K volume knob. So see that, like look how easy that spins. So when you're doing like, let's see here. When you're doing cool volume swells and stuff, it moves really fast. This is a 250K low friction, and that one, you can basically set it, and you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting it with your hand and moving it because it takes a little bit of torque to move that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a under the hood feature on the EVH guitars that not a lot of people know. I love the neck on these guitars. The shape and the contour is awesome, but also on most of the EVH guitars, they are like an unfinished or satin finished neck. Like
Yes.
feel how smooth.
Ooh, I like that.
That is, yeah, so-
my hand gets stuck on gloss necks.
Right,
from-
right. So when you're playing like fast, you can like move quickly and accurately. And one, you have like a little bit of grip. You can kind of dig in. And then number two, just like sliding and moving is more accurate and you can do it faster. So that's another cool feature. 3-to-a-side headstock. And this was a headstock that Eddie has been kind of toying with since the 90s, since the Ernie Ball Music Man, then into the PV guitars that he used. And if you notice, all the string pull is straight, so they're not going at an angle. It's supposed to be better for sustain, better for tuning stability, just kind of overall a more modern design. One thing that I really like, if you are a gigging musician and you're using these guitars as workhorse guitars, the truss rod adjustment is a little key, like a little spindle, right there at the heel of the neck.
Oh yeah, the little
Yeah,
the pinwheel.
Yep. So you just take your Allen key and you can give it a quarter of a turn either way. Most of the time, you barely even have to loosen the string. So if you want to make a quick adjustment on the fly, it's quite helpful. And then all of the EVH guitars have stock the D-Tuna, which I get a lot of questions about these. Does it work? How does it work? Basically, all it's doing is lengthening the string. So when I pop it out, I'm basically making the string longer, which is dropping it down a step. See that? Really quick into drop D.
Yeah.
Right back. Right back to standard
Right back
tuning.
to standard,
No
yeah.
problem. Drop D. Back to standard. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really good for a gigging musician, so you don't have to have a separate guitar for drop D. You don't have to say, wait a second, guys, hold on, let me tune. Where's my Allen wrench so I can undo this Floyd Rose? Like, you just can drop down to D. And then pretty straightforward electronics. We basically have 2 pickups, a 3-way selector switch. So all the way down is bridge. The middle, both pickups. A little bassier sounding. And then our neck pickup all the way up. So pretty cool. One volume control, one tone control. I normally leave my tone control just all the way open at 10. And then volume control, I'll kind of play with. Most of the time I leave it at about 90% because I really want those pickups. To kind of overdrive the preamp of the amp. So yeah, that's the Wolfgang Special. Definitely one of my favorites. These guitars, depending on the finish and what you get, I think they start out a little over $1,000 and kind of go up from there.
All right.
But yeah, definitely a good workhorse guitar. And then with all of my Wolfgangs, I am big on the FU Tone mods. So everything.
We got them all here.
Brass block, increases sustain, noiseless springs, high tension, heavy duty, brass claw, and then these little inserts that go and pinch the string in there make such a difference. These are basically just an inexpensive metal. These are titanium, so tuning stability is much better. There's a better transfer of sound. They're such easy, quick, inexpensive upgrades. Totally worth doing.
Nice.
All right, so now, I don't know how we're going to do this because this has these weird eye hook things on here.
I can run and grab it.
That's okay. Nah. So we'll just try this.
One of the things I made sure to do when I was grabbing guitars was we've got kind of 3 different versions of the Wolfgangs. We have the Special, the Signature, And then we have just another USA there, but I guess there's probably, you can get into the differences between the Signature and the USA.
Sure.
And then the other models, like there's the Silver Burst behind us, but that's just another special, just another fun special
Yeah,
color.
different kind of vibe on the special.
And then I've got 2 Stripe Series and the 5150.
Yeah.
Those are all, pretty.
Represents the line pretty well, kind of what they have out there.
So I figured it'd be a quick little, run through of what makes each one different from the one before it, and go from there.
Yeah. So this is the USA Signature. This is kind of the last guitar that Eddie designed and really road tested and used. This was kind of big on the 2015 tour with Roth. A few differences. The biggest thing to me is the stainless steel frets on here. The stainless steel frets are super durable. They last forever. They feel great. Just you can really dig in. Ebony fingerboard on here, which some of the Wolfgang specials will have an ebony fingerboard, but this is ebony fingerboard with this beautiful block inlay. The headstock has a little bit of a different angle to it. Pearloid tuning buttons on there. Same D-Tuna Wolfgang USA pickups on there. Low tension or low friction and high friction pots on there. Then the other big thing is the kill switch. So in the middle of You Really Got Me off of the first record, you have a staccato kind of little thing, and how Eddie originally did that was just turning on and off the pickup on a Les Paul. I'm sure everybody's tried that trick before, where you turn one of the pickups down with your 4 knobs, and then you take your 3-way selector switch and switch between it. Forth, It's like an instant, kill switch stutter effect. Well, in the Signature one, Eddie put that kill switch in there. I am not great with a kill switch. I don't have a guitar. Well, I do have a guitar. My FU Tone guitar has that. But it's one of those things where I think to be really good at it, you really have to practice licks with it and work with the timing of it. So the stutter is in time with what you're trying to do instead of just randomly. There's a place for that, but to get it perfect and cool in a solo, you really probably need to practice it in time. But yeah, these guitars are great. I would say they have a little bit more of a rounded sound. They're not quite as aggressive as maybe one of the standard USAs or even the specials. I think they're just kind of a little bit more rounded. So yeah, quite a cool guitar. Really comes with a cool case too. The case is like striped and looks like Van Halen-esque.
It's got that nice, the crushed red velvet interior on it too, right?
Yeah, very nice case, All right, so let's switch out.
Let's go to the 5150 here.
Getting a question, can we demo a Player 2 green telly?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that if you are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll
this
make
is
that
the
happen.
EVH special, but we will you see what I did there? Called it the EVH
Yeah.
special.
Oh, yeah.
You see? Well, yeah, we can definitely make that happen. Those are brand new, so we'll give a little spiel maybe towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Fender, I'm just going to try and, I don't know that I'm in the line here. I keep stepping out. Fender launched a new series of guitars this week. They came out on Tuesdays, the Player 2 series. They've upgraded pickups, upgraded fingerboards. They've ditched Pal Faro and went back to rosewood. The bodies come in 3 different options of toned wood depending on the finishes of the guitar. And they even upgraded the tuners, so they're no longer using the die cast kind of things either. But yeah, we have a request to demo the Birch Green Telecaster, so I'll make sure I grab that here in a second. In the meantime, I'll hang this back up, and Keith, you let everyone know what's going on with the 5150, and I'll go grab that telly.
All right, so we are about to demo the EVH 5150, so this is the guitar where I fell in love with Van Halen and guitar playing. I saw this guitar in 1985 on the Live Without a Net concert, which they would play clips of on MTV, and man, it just looks so cool. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's definitely got an 80s vibe to it. The hockey stick, headstock, hard rock maple neck. Again, super unfinished, really smooth feeling. Super high output pickup. Just an awesome guitar. D-Tuna, 1 volume knob, Floyd Rose, 1 pickup. It's all rock. I mean, it's. Yeah, it's a great guitar. I love this guitar. I think I got the very first one that we got shipped like however many years ago. Let's say 5 years ago, 7 years ago when these were first released. I love this guitar. This guitar by Eddie started to use it around the 1984 time period and then carried on through to the 5150 album. And then cool, it's got the 5150 reflective sticker on there. Just a really fun Van Halen guitar. So let's check out something else. By the way, I am using the Fender ToneMaster Pro, and it is amazing. I've never got a chance to really spend some time with it. I just dialed in one of the stock EVH presets in there. So this is mimicking a 100-watt 5150 head. Just go through here. Studio delay pedal. Looks like it's really mimicking like a Boss style delay pedal. Large plate reverb. Tube screamer if I want to do a boost. Phase 90. Momentary flanger, which I thought was really cool. Hear it? And then the other really cool thing is it mimics a Eddie wet, dry, wet rig with this cool stereo detune chorus. Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so a really neat piece, and I have not spent a lot of time with but just plugging it in today, it was like,
I mean, yeah, it's just straight out of the box. You didn't really, I don't think you even messed with the settings, did you?
No, I just found the closest EVH setting, which there's like a million of them in here.
Let's see, what do we want to do next?
Let's do the Circles guitar.
All righty. I highlighted this one when it first came out. Like the day we got it, I made sure we fit it into the live stream. And right before we started the live stream, you came up here and you're like, this guitar was on this tour and it was used here. And I think I butchered all that information when we got to it in the show because I just couldn't remember everything. It was.
So this guitar came to light during the Fair Warning tour.
I probably got that wrong.
Yeah, and it's it's quite a cool guitar. Structurally, it's really similar to a lot of the Stripe series guitars. One super high output humbucker, Floyd Rose, D-Tuna, one volume knob, 6 in a line, Strat style headstock, unfinished neck. It's pretty straightforward, just rock machine kind of thing. But kind of some of the cool things. So it's all satin finish, which is kind of cool. So when your arm slides across it, it feels good. The neck feels really good. I actually really dig the look of it.
It is pretty cool.
It's cool. Yeah. Sometimes playing a Stripe guitar in like a cover band situation or something, you feel a bit weird because that's like totally relatable to Eddie. So anytime somebody sees you playing a Stripe guitar, I'm always like, oh man, they think that I'm trying to like rip off Eddie.
On break, they probably ask you to play Eruption.
Yeah, something like that. But this guitar, only like the diehards really know. So you could really play this out, and people wouldn't necessarily think, like you're trying to cop Eddie's licks and be Eddie, even though maybe you are. So I dig the feel of this. I dig the look of this. One really cool thing is turn it over, check it out. Bye. See you later.
I'm pretty sure when we had that guitar on the show before, I even flipped that guitar over, and that was my like sign off for the show.
Yeah,
Bye, let's see, John, our service tech, John is asking, you run the Tonemaster into an amp or into a full response speaker? I think the Tonemaster Pro has the amp sim on there.
Yeah.
So it's simulating one of the EVH amps. I can't tell. I see it on there.
It's actually, so it's the 6L6 100-watt head.
Okay.
Is what it's simulating. I just have an XLR cable going right over to Jake into his interface, and then I just found our rental JBL Eon speaker and plugged it in just for a monitor to hear myself. I didn't even use the FR cabinet because I don't know, I'm a bit lazy and it's all the way over there. And this was right here, and I plugged it in and just dialed onto that preset, and it sounded so good I just didn't do anything else. So yeah, it's Black Sabbath there.
Yeah.
It does sound really good. It's really aggressive and really.
Jake, since I know you're not mic'd up, but you're there at the system, would you be able to?
Actually, I am mic'd up.
Oh, look at that. Unless this already happened when I walked away to grab the guitar, can you get us the sale price on the Tonemaster Pro?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I don't know off the top of my head, but you have the computer in front of you.
Yes, I do. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's really good.
It sounds really good.
All right, cool. Well, let's check out the next guitar.
All right, which one do we do next?
Let's see here. What do we have left? Let's do, since we're staying on the Stripe series, let's do the Bumblebee.
Sounds good.
And I have the price in front of me. It is $1,700.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And also on my side of things, the EQ is completely neutral.
Okay.
No changes in EQ on my end as well.
Okay, so whatever you guys are hearing out there, that's it. That's the Tonemaster.
Man, 17. I forget. I have to look at the schedule and see what was planned for next week, but I think we might have to bypass it all and do an episode just on the Tonemaster Pro. There's a lot to it here.
I mean, even this tuner.
The tuner's very nice.
Yeah, is really, really nice. I wish you guys could see this, but it's a big digital readout in there. You could probably see it in the sun, so if you're playing outside
Oh, yeah.
gigs.
What I like is how it takes up the whole screen, so it's not just like a small little
Yeah.
dial that
And
pops
then
up on the
look,
screen.
click
That's
it right
probably-
off. And then the way the Tone Master is laid out is it's basically showing me the actual picture of the amp and the pedal that it's simulating. So I have a picture of the EVH stack on there, the exact one. I have a picture of a Tube Screamer on there. I have a picture of a Phase 90, the Boss flanger on there. So it's pretty cool. You don't have to kind of know a whole lot about all the different parameters. I basically just pull up the pedal. I'm used to seeing an orange 2-button pedal for my MXR phaser. I can simply click on the phaser thing. And there it is. Kind of neat.
Yeah.
So anyhow, let's get back to the guitars. So this is one of my favorites of the Stripe series. This is the yellow and black. A lot of people call this the Van Halen 2 guitar. This was used prominently and featured on the artwork for Van Halen 2. Basically similar thing to the Circles guitar. I call these the Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I always really dig these, but same thing, unfinished maple neck, feels really good, Strat style headstock, one volume control, which is actually labeled Tone. There's a video out there of Eddie doing a studio tour, and he's showing you, hey, look, I only have one knob on here, but it says Tone. Turn it all the way up, and you get good tone. EVH Wolfgang pickup in there. So it's a super high output articulate pickup, which I really like. The hotter the pickup for me, the better. I want to be able to get harmonics super easy. I want to be able to... Hear how easy that was to hit those.
Yeah.
You really need a high output hot pickup to do that, and these really fit the bill, but they're also not super noisy. Like, listen to that. That's my volume turned all the way up with everything. There's a little bit of noise, but
Yeah, once you start playing,
yeah,
it's,
not much. So sometimes when you get these super high output hot pickups, you'll hear and you have to get yourself a noise suppressor or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But these pickups are pretty good. Detuner on there, just basic Floyd. Again, if you get one of these, do yourself a favor and do the FU Tone upgrades. I can walk you through what you need. It's pretty simple, inexpensive addition, but man, what a difference in tone and tuning stability it makes. So that is the Bumblebee.
all right.
All right, what do we got left?
Let's see. We've done the specials. We've done the USAs.
Oh, you want to do your Silver Burst?
Yeah, let's do the Silverburst.
All right. So this is a brand new release. This is a EVH Wolfgang Special in a Silver Burst. And this Silver Burst color has been, man, it's been pretty hot within the guitar community for a while
Yeah,
now.
just across the board.
Yeah,
It's just-
I mean, I think that there's quite a few Gibson Silverburst guitars. I know that the Tool guy has his signature series guitar.
oh yeah, the Adam Jones stuff.
Yeah, and the Silverburst. It's really quite a cool finish. I would say it's like a modern classic kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure we're tuned up here.
I mean, the cool thing is a Silverburst is a great looking finish, and it's hard to mess up. Like
Guitar kind of screams heavy metal, doesn't it?
yeah, it does.
Like it's
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty similar to the other Wolfgang Special that we talked about. I would say this is kind of like a modern classic. Black Floyd on here, 2 Wolfgang humbuckers, bridge pickup, neck pickup, low friction and high friction pots in there. This one has a rosewood fingerboard, which kind of matches the look of this guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
Better maybe than a maple neck. Drop D tuner. Richard's saying he likes the binding. Like, that looks pretty cool. It's like a cream binding, so it looks real rich. It kind of like finishes it off kind of thing. And the Silver Burst, like the color is just, I don't know, it's cool. Yeah. It's different.
I think the silver, what's getting me about the Silver Burst is that like I mentioned, we were having this conversation earlier about the historically accurate EVHs.
Yeah.
But the Silver Burst to me is kind of like that attempt for the EVH brand to be reaching the guitar players that play other brands.
Sure,
that could be into this guitar.
I mean,
they just haven't bought a Wolfgang because it's an Eddie guitar,
right?
But this stands alone, kind of, so to speak.
Right.
Like
yeah. No, I think that's exactly it, and I think that's probably the idea behind this. This is a modern heavy metal, modern rock guitar, right? Like it's you don't have to get this guitar and play Panama on it or whatever. It's I don't know. It looks cool. It's obviously feels great.
Yeah, it's got a great look to it.
Yeah, the fretwork on these specials is really, really good, which is something that I always look for on guitars. Running your hand across here, making sure the frets aren't hanging off the edges, the neck is nice and smooth. They do rolled fret edges on here, so it feels like it's worn in, so it feels like it's been played a lot. When you get an older guitar, pick up a used guitar that's been played a lot, you're like, oh man, that feels so comfortable, it's smooth. That's the same thing when they do with these. I tried to play more rockin' riffs, not just Van Halen riffs for that. Great guitar. I totally recommend it. Check it out.
Time to shift gears here for a minute because we're coming up on time. How am I going to do this with one hand here? Usually I have the headset. Hold on.
The
lavalier. Usually I've got the lavalier mic on, so that would have been a little easier for me. You said rolled edges. I was also keeping an eye on time because, I try not to go too long here. But you said rolled edges. I was like, oh, well, it reminded me because these new Player 2 series come with rolled edges on their fingerboards. This one has the rosewood we were talking about instead of the Pal Ferro that Fender was using for a while. These have a new series of Alnico 5 magnet pickups. They feature the better upgraded tuners than what was on the Player series before. The first iteration of these guitars that come in all the standard colors they're doing have the alder body. And so this is the birch green finish. It's fun to see Richard on the chat. Richard used to work here, so it's fun. But Richard, I remember years ago, so bad wanted this Sherwood green American
Oh, yes,
telly.
I remember that.
And I can't remember the series, but I remember it was an American. It might have been American Standard. And so when I was like, oh, this green, Richard might like that. And then, of course, here he is on the chat, just kind of like, oh, yeah, the telly. The price range on the Player 2 series, they are, this first batch of them that come with the alder body are $7.99. There are other bodies that are coming out with a chambered ash and a chambered mahogany. I cannot say for sure, though, if those prices are a little different just because the bodies will have different tone woods and features to them. Different colors, things like transparent finishes. But this birch green Player 2 telly right now is $799.99. It's been on the market for 3 days. And we're very fortunate to have them here in stock already. We've had them from the launch. So, this is the Player 2 Series Telecaster. Richard, we can put Texas Special pickups into this birch green telly for you. Don't worry. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just found that sound on the fly.
Yeah. These guitars, if you are curious, feature a 9.5-inch radius on the fretboard. They are a modern C-shaped neck across the board as far as the electric guitars go. As far as the Strat and the Tele, there's other like the Jaguar, the Jazzmaster. Those will be coming out, but as of right now, the ones that they're really hitting the markets with are the Strats, the Teles, and the first few colors of the Jazz basses and precision basses. There's a reason we call it a P bass. And then there's a, but yeah, this is the Player 2 Series Telecaster.
Yeah, pretty neat.
At $799, it gives you rooms if you want to upgrade those pickups from the, the Fender Alnico 5 Classic Series pickups. It gives you room to throw in, the US Noiseless, the Texas Specials, the, Hot Rails or something.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
plenty of room budget-wise to be able to mod this guitar and upgrade some components like that in the tuners and still not be out a ton. So
I think it's it seems to take overdrive really well with the pickups that it has. And that's a really good clean tone, right out of the gate. New strings, I can hear it going out of tune. I didn't stretch this one ahead of time. Yeah, but really, really great guitars. I think we've discovered today that Fender is on their A game right now. This Tone Master is really a gem. I'm going to spend some more time and learn about it. So if any of you guys want to check it out with me, feel free to come by. I would love to teach you what I know and maybe learn some other stuff together. These new Player 2 guitars are phenomenal. They're great as they are out of the box, but you can also do all kinds of cool upgrades. I could see a push-pull for maybe a hot rail or something there. Great guitars. The finishes look really good. The rolled fret edges feel really good. Just overall incredible value for in that $700 to $800 price point. And obviously, my favorite, the EVH guitars. No matter what Eddie era that you jump into, you cannot go wrong. Come see me here at the store if you have questions or if you want to talk about modifications that you could do to some of those guitars. I'm happy to help if I'm not out on the floor. Certainly let somebody know at the front. I'm happy to come out and help you. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for swinging by.
Yeah, I enjoyed being a guest on Live at 5. I think I was going to be doing a speaker delivery out in the 100-degree heat. So I'm happy to do this. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully you'll invite me back.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Jack. It's Keith. You can't see Jake today, but he's here.
I'm here.
And we'll see you next week on Live at 5.
See ya.